Hello everyone and welcome back to my US Diary official YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric Forrester to advise Nick Marone. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan reacts to Taylor Hayes' battle. Brooke and Taylor. Formerly again, they're fighting over Ridge Forrester. Indeed, though Tridge is engaged, Taylor continues to see Brooke going after Ridge. Taylor is also concerned about Ridge being together in Italy, as it's the background for numerous of their reunions. Taylor offered Nick a proposition, but he didn't agree to anything yet. That could change depending on what Brooke says to Taylor. I prognosticate that Taylor will formally again push Nick to accept her offer. Brooke was throwing herself at Ridge and soliciting him to reunite formally again. Of course, Taylor just happened to see the commerce. While Ridge was a good boy and conducted himself, Taylor will be bothered. After defying the Golden, Brooke will reply. Brooke strike back at Taylor, making her rival continue to worry? Or will Brooke play innocent, making Taylor question what she's doing next? Of course, they could also spend time bickering back and forth. Eric will issue a warning to Nick. The primogenitor keeps pushing Ridge to reunite with Brooke. It's rather discourteous to Taylor, no matter which side you're on. In any case, Eric will want to be sure that Nick doesn't ruin a possible ground reunion. The primogenitor will advise Nick in the coming occasion, but he easily doesn't heed that warning. We might also see Nick face an implication. However, could the Forrester primogenitor take action? Perhaps Eric has someone sabotage Nick's aeroplane, forcing Brooke to ride on with Ridge if he doesn't heed Eric's warning. Jack arriving in Italy and desperately trying to get a boat. Meanwhile, Brooke and Ridge take off on a boat together. Nick will ultimately find a way to get to Brooke. Nick says, "Let the fun begin," with a confident station and flashing smile. Still, the trip might take an unanticipated turn. At Bill's place, the nanny changes Liam's dressing and tells Bill that he's doing remarkably well. Bill goes on about how thankful he's for Buckingham and the medical platoon. He can't indeed comprehend what's gone on. He tells Liam his sole focus needs to be on surviving. Bill gets a textbook and asks his son to get some rest. He's going to have callers. Steffi, Finn and Hope arrive and question Bill about the procedure. Bill shrugs that it got results. Finn pouts and Hope says, "We'd like to see him now." Bill warns he's still weak from the procedure. Finn asks why he didn't consult him. Bill says Grace told him time was of the substance, so they went for it. Bill leads the callers in to see Liam, who has his eyes closed. The nanny shows Finn the figures. He can't get over how well Liam's is doing so soon. The nanny exits and Finn questions Bill. "It's only been a couple of hours, right?" He asks what the surgery was, exactly. They were told it was inoperable. Steffi says treatments could have bought him further time, but there was no cure. Bill explains Grace set up someone from out of the country doing this experimental procedure. Finn asks the name of the croaker. Bill can't flashback it was so stressful. They had to do it in the clinic because the sanitarium wouldn't have approved it. It was a fully professional experience, he says. I suppose they got the entire mass. They'll know when Grace gets the final MRI results. Finn is blown away that he might actually survive. Did they give Bill anything to read? Bill says no, and it doesn't matter. The only thing that signified was saving his son's life. Finn B&B. Finn thinks Liam should be recovering at the sanitarium. Bill says they're all decked out there with everything they need. Finn wonders why Grace didn't consult him. Bill says, "He's not your case." There wasn't time to weigh out pros and cons. Finn is just happy it went well. Bill has to believe the MRI results will be what they're hoping for. Hope tells Liam that she and Steffi are there for him. Steffi tells him how stalwart he is. You try and stay with us and your little girls. Liam awakens and they express their love. At Forrester, Ridge and Taylor go on about how relieved they're that Steffi is safe. They're embracing when Brooke comes by and asks about Steffi. Ridge says she's shaken, but covers well. Taylor remarks on the inviting sense of stress. Ridge declares that Luna won't be a problem presently. Taylor is relieved that the solicitude is gone, but wishes Luna had gotten help rather of dying. They'll always be thankful to Liam for saving Steffi's life. They go over Liam fighting to survive the firing only to be gone in a couple of months. Taylor says he'll make recollections with the girls. Brooke says it breaks her heart what he's going through. Taylor laments that Kelly and Beth have no idea how soon their world will change. Taylor asks Ridge if they should defer their Italy trip. What if commodity happens while they're down? Brooke frowns. What if we're half around the world when Liam leaves us? Ridge doesn't suppose they should cancel yet. Brooke shoots him a cautious look. They agree if it looks bad they'll do what's stylish for the family. Taylor declares that they'll have to unite to help their daughters through this and to help Beth and Kelly too. Brooke nods. We will. Electa and we'll go over how crazy Luna went. Will's just glad she's gone. Electra says it's because of his family Liam's frippery. Katie enters as they talk about Liam being willing to immolate himself for Steffi. Now he's facing commodity he wouldn't survive. Katie sighs, we're still going to lose him. Katie addresses about how devastated Liam must be mentally. Will expedience he doesn't concentrate on taking a life he's a idol. Katie laments that he's being awarded for his heroism by facing a death judgment. We'll see and understand why Liam didn't tell anyone about his brain excrescence. Katie see and condemn him no bone. Wants to be ached. She's been on the entering end of that. He wanted to shield his little girls from the verity as long as he could. Katie tears up over Liam's impending death and what he must be feeling. Will gets choked up hoping Liam can ever beat this. He's a fighter. It's his big family and he's not ready to lose him. Katie holds Will. I'm so sorry. Liam squints. Where am I? Bill reminds him they came back to his house after the surgery. Hope tells him they heard about his procedure with Dr. Buckingham. There's eventually news to be hopeful about. Steffi says, we can't lose you. Liam looks at Bill, who gets a textbook from Dr. Buckingham about the MRI. He shakes his head. Finn asks, what did she say? Bill tells them the checkup is clean. The excrescence is gone. 100 removed with good perimeters. They each well up with gashes. Finn declares that this is unthinkable that they pulled this off. Steffi cries, Liam, you're going to live. Hope says he'll get to be around his daughters for a long, long time. It's truly a phenomenon. Finn says medical history was made moment. He still looks befuddled. Liam opening his eyes, Bill learning the verity about Liam's impending death, and Lee pulling Finn away and asking a veritably satisfying question. Liam remained unconscious but stable, leaving Steffi and Hope to supplicate for his recovery. Everyone ignored that indeed if he came around, he'd soon die anyway. Bridget came in to check on effects and talk about what Liam's slow progress. She assured the ladyloves that he was stable, but she bothered about Liam not opening his eyes. Grace came by and claimed on looking over Liam. He's her case, after all. She excused Steffi and Hope and asked them to join the others in the hall. They did just that, where they set up Taylor streamlining Brooke on all the drama. Back in the room, Grace prayed Liam to come around. Down the hall, Sheila cried over the woeful loss of her lunatic granddaughter. Sheila cried over the news, and when the gashes started to flow, Finn excused himself, leaving Cleric to comfort her. Out in the hall, Ridge got in Dollar Bill's face while the hustler was in gashes, fussing for his son. Yes, it's his fault for releasing Luna. Yes, he'd lament it for the rest of his life. When Bill stormed off to see his son, Ridge chased him down and pushed him into an empty room and supplicated him to leave Liam alone. Do commodity right by your son for formerly. Ridge laid into him like no way ahead. All Liam ever wanted was for Bill to choose him, and he no way did. Heck, he chose a killer over his son. What kind of father does that? Ridge prompted him to stay down and supplicate. Supplicate for his son's survival and supplicate for his son's remission. The men went to join the others, where Hope lashed out at Bill. She flew off the handle so much that she slipped up about his brain excrescence and was forced to admit to everyone, including Bill, that Liam's been battling cancer this whole time. Bill was shocked his son didn't tell him. He was indeed more shocked to hear that indeed if Liam survives Luna's attack, he wouldn't live much longer. Steffi didn't make hearing the news any easier. She also laid into Bill and all his egoism. Good news came that Liam was starting to come around. Steffi, Finn, and Hope rushed to his room just in time to watch Liam open his eyes. Also getting pulled into a room was Finn by his mama. Lee got him alone and asked him to be 100% honest. How does he really feel about his son's death? What an odd question to ask. Finn admitted it was complicated and that he was trying to reuse all of it. Luna's life was wasted. She suffered so important trauma and rigors, but look at what she did to Steffi and the others. Lee understood and supplicated him to let Luna go and not allow her death to impact his marriage. Baker came upon them and assured them Luna would be back in captivity for her host of crimes. Important to his surprise, Finn informed him that Luna is dead.